Hi everyone, and a very welcome to this Flexo webinar. It's wonderful to see how many people have joined today. Just for your information, the session will be recorded and you'll receive the recording via mail. This webinar is part of a larger series where we present a pre-packaged SAP extensions or accelerators that we, Flexo, have built. We've built these inside SAP. For those who are wondering, today we are August 13, as you can see here. So we'll be talking about the B2B Portal Accelerator. For the coming webinars, I would like to highlight the IoT Digital Twin Accelerator. I think that's a very interesting one, where we'll see how real-time data of coffee machines is displayed for users and also for billing. As we are getting used to nowadays, some basic hygiene rules apply. So please use your full name when logging in. I hope everybody has done that. Everybody is muted. As I said, the session will be recorded and you'll receive it via mail. You can chat with us, and questions are very welcome. We will answer them at the end of the session. So you can use the chat to ask your questions. You can even indicate that it's a question. Who have you been listening to until now? Well, my name is Bert van Bree. I'm a solution designer and project manager at Flexso, which means that I can go through a solution from the conception phase right the way through until the realization. That's what makes me very happy to be able to do projects from the beginning until the very end. Ingredients of today. First of all, we'll have the topic. Swiftly discuss what it's about. See why we would need a B2B portal. What is inside the package, and how we can accomplish building this package for you. When we look at the topic of today, I think we can safely say that we're looking at a way to empower your partners with insights and granting them also the self-service capabilities. And this all should be covered into a very good digital experience so that your business partner actually feels engaged. That's what we're trying to achieve today. And the first thing, of course, is why are we doing this? Well, it all starts with the age of the consumer, because it started about a decade ago. The age of the consumer refers to a certain power balance between sellers and buyers in a B2C context. It assumes that in the past there was a certain equilibrium. With the internet, buyers now have increased access to information and are already informed before contacting your sales department. Also, due to globalization and the EU market, more options have become available to them. As such, in a B2C context, for many goods, the equilibrium has tipped towards the buyer. This resulted into a number of things. One of them being a heavily increased service expectations of consumers. It's not only about next day deliveries or free shipping. We also expect an omni-channel service desk, clear online product information, buying guides, and so on. So how does this relate to the context we're covering in this webinar, the B2B context? As you know, there aren't actual consumers in a B2B context. We have sellers and we have buyers, both corporations. However, goods are always bought by people. People whose preferences are being shaped by the experience they have as a consumer every day. These people expect the same level of service when they buy for work as when they buy for pleasure. In other words, B2B buyers are currently looking for the same customer experience in their B2B world. This group is also ever growing. Not only do millennials now become your buyers, but given the current crisis, even more people are getting used to searching for information and buying goods online. This part has been a bit focused on buyers, but in fact, this is the same for all of your business partners. You can think about suppliers and all the others. They want the same customer experience as they face every day in their private world. However, Wanting the same experience does not imply having the exact same processes or user interfaces. So the question is now, what experience does your business partner expect? Well, I think it's quite easy. As always, your partner expects a premium experience, the best of the best. What does a premium digital experience entail? Well, the goal is, of course, to give them something that is better than expected, going above the expectations of the user. And the first thing that's important there is, of course, ease of use. You shouldn't need a 3-day training or go through a 50-page manual to be able to find information that you want or do the things that you want to do. This already starts at the very beginning. What's the web address again? It doesn't feel good having 20 bookmarks to get in touch with your customer or supplier. But also, registration, logging in should be as easy as it can be. Whilst easy, it must of course remain secure and trusted, so adhere to the privacy standards. We also use our phone more than ever. Some of you might even be buying goods online as we speak. Once signed in, you should have a really quick overview of what's important for you. In fact, you want to combine all the applications the user can access in one clear overview. This means that it's personalized, because a good digital experience is personalized to the user. One of many ways to make your partner feel special is by only giving them their overview, showing the information that they want to have at that point in time and the applications they need at that moment. Making sure you connect with the individual can be done also through animations, giving good news overviews, etc. Based on the needs of the partners, you could even allow them to configure their own portal, just the way that they like it. But not everyone is as tech savvy, so you can just as easily decide that your partner shouldn't touch their personalized portal. Nothing disrupts your experience more than having to spend too much time on a task. That's why the digital experience often needs to be fast. Not only the reaction time, but also the information must be as real-time as possible. By connecting a B2B portal to an ERP system, we can not only allow the information to be as real-time as possible, but we can even automate some of the processes, minimizing administrative effort. The entire goal of making things easy, special, and fast is to make sure your partners are empowered. Nothing builds a relationship better than being engaged into teamwork. The portal should provide the information that your partner needs to perform the actions that create a perfect win-win situation. With the correct portal, you'll also be very reachable for your partners, as they now have a digital one-stop shop to interact with you. Gathering their feedback will allow you to even better understand your partners, allowing you to take the right business decisions. So, inside the partner expectations, we've already covered that the digital experience should be premium. But exactly what service does your business partner expect? Well, to be honest, we don't know this, but we know you do. But if we rephrase the statement a bit, we might be able to inspire you. What services could you offer your business partner? Well, big surprise, I believe the B2B portal would be a very good idea. Now, the B2B portal services. What can they be? How could they be entailed? Well, let's first have a look at e-commerce for customers. In your day-to-day lives, you also use this. You can create service requests, raise incidents, get detailed product information, have an overview of your past orders, your invoices, etc. This type of e-commerce linked portal we already built in the past for several customers, and I gave you some examples here. And the last one is for Van Marke, the bathrooms, in which they can actually follow up their deliveries, see what's coming in today for them, even have some documentations. It's not all about e-commerce. We also built a group portal for subsidiary corporations. Here, people can share price lists, can also share product information, enter orders asking to send other products, store-to-store evaluations, product evaluations, provide feedback. As you can see, we've built this portal also for the Euronics, which is the group above the selection stores. We also have track and trace portals for logistics partners. Here, the third-party logistics provider ODTH has a portal in which their customers can, among other things, follow up on their truck's arrival, when they are loaded, how long loading take, when they left, and also see their stock movements. So this is a portal given for the customers again, but in a logistics context. We can also talk about Internet of Things portal. This can be used for pay-per-use and remote monitoring. It's also this that will be more deeply discussed into the webinar that I mentioned in the beginning. Here, the example is a coffee as a service portal. The idea is that the customer receives a coffee machine and simply pays for each cup of coffee that has been consumed. Sensors in the machine will communicate in real time the status of the machine and the amount of cups of coffee that have been made. Our portal also provides this information directly to the client, allowing them to effectively follow up on their usage. And last but not least, we were asked to build a safety portal for service contractors. In this portal, suppliers will need to enter who will come on site of the customer and which site. The people who will be coming to the site will receive an email asking them to perform all necessary safety tests online before arriving at a given time and date. This allows for a very smooth run-through at the gate. This is, of course, not everything that's possible. Possibilities here are endless. You can create for all of your business partners any type of portal. Now, if we return to our overview, consumers in a B2B context expect the premium digital experience, and I think with the B2B portal, you have a lot of possibilities to grant them. But it's not all about the customer. There are also good things for you. First of all, it's extending your reach and your scope. Using a good B2B portal, you can reach more devices, being mobile friendly, and a lot more users by giving them a one-stop shop. You can do business around the clock because it's no longer dependent on people being at their desks to actually do orders or answer phone calls. And you can swiftly have new data. You can gather it from the automated processes, but you can also swiftly create new apps for your partners. And last but not least, of course, is that you can limit heavily your manual processing. Empowering your customer, giving them the tools to do things themselves, will help you limit those manual procedures. This will also decrease your time to action. If your customer doesn't have to wait until one of your employees is available, they can much more swiftly run through a certain process. This allows you again to grow your focus and doing the things that's important for you and the customers. Now we've discussed a bit why a B2B portal would be a good solution. The question, of course, is now, what is inside our package? Basically put, it's Lego blocks. We have certain blocks that we can build up to create that B2B castle that you need for your customers and your partners. As you might remember, a couple of minutes ago, we went through all the types or different types of portals that we have built in the past. As said, this is not limited and more is possible. However, I might have put you a bit on the wrong foot because in fact, these are not different portals. This is one portal. And with that one portal, you can give it to all of your business partners and they have the applications and everything that they need for them. Now, how is this built up? First of all, there's of course a very important backbone to the application. The backbone consists out of user management, in this case, delegated user management, and portal functionalities. It's the backbone. But also, there is content that can be added to that backbone. This consists out of applications, and intelligent technologies. Let's have a bit more a deep dive into delegated user management. Well, it starts with an identity provider or IDP. Technically, this is simply a store of users. This serves two goals. The first one is to authenticate you. Simply put, this is where we store your location and your username and your password. Once we know who you are, we also need to know what you can access, such as which company do you belong to, so whose company's information can you access, or are you allowed within your company to create purchase orders. So the most important part of the IDP is in fact to create trust. You and your partner must be able to trust each other in the digital world just the same as you do in the real world. That's why a good IDP will take care of everything privacy related to build that trust. In the past, it was often the task of the host of the portal to manage all the users and their access rights. However, we've created a solution that allows you to delegate these tasks to the customers or partners themselves, effectively empowering them to manage their own users. Now, what does this mean? Well, it's important to state that each customer can have multiple users. And these users can have different rights. And one of them, or more, could become the delegated administrators of that company. This means that these people can create and edit their company's users. So, another possibility, which is important, is that users of existing customers can register themselves. First, of course, we'll validate their email address. And secondly, we will ask the delegated admin to approve a certain user before he can access the application. Last but not least, new customers can run through a quick registration process, allowing them to quickly become one of your new customers. We can do this by template-based rights attribution. We determine new customers, which rights do they need. To make it a bit more tangible, we've created a short demo video to actually display how this would work. So first of all, a user wants to register themselves. So they provide basic information, such as their first name, their last name, their email address, and they choose a password. To make it easy, you immediately get an overview of what your password should adhere to. You enter the password, and then you provide the VAT number of your company. This is the way that we link the user to a certain company. We send them an email address, and the user confirms that this is his email address. Once that this is confirmed, he can click Continue, and we will actually see here to which company he belongs. Now we say, you cannot access the application yet because you haven't been approved by a certain administrator. So now, your company's delegated administrator, so that someone from your customer or partner can log in to the system and actually approve access for that user. That way we assure and we keep the trust that only people that have been appointed by the customer actually can access the applications. Here you can see you can easily approve the user. As of now, that user would be able to use the applications and the rights that the administrator has set. I hope that that was a bit clear for you to see how easy it is for someone to register himself and for the company's administrator to allow him access. Now, as said, the backbone consists out of two parts: delegated user administration and portal functionalities. Portal functionality is rather easy. This is a personalized, multilingual overview of applications or reports or whatever you want to put in there. I've got an example here from Flexso to show you what is possible. As you can see, these are groups. We are talking here about webshop, user management, my orders, and support. So that's an important part, that you can group applications. Each application is represented by a tile, one of the big squares, easily clickable and very easy to use with. Here you can put out applications, reports, documents, anything that you would like. And access to these applications is done by the user rights that can be administered by the company themselves. Very important here is also that your overview is mobile friendly. That's why the tiles are so large and easily clickable. Very short, what is a portal? Now we've discussed the backbone, and the backbone is actually the part that's fully included into the package that we're offering. But of course, having only the closet in which you put the clothes is not enough. You need something to actually have inside that portal. So when we look at applications, this is very difficult for me to explain because you can have any type of application in there. So I'm going to give you a quick overview, but what I want you to take home here is anything is possible. First of all, we have Flexso being packaged applications. Applications that are ready for you to use. Of course, they need to be adapted to fit your specific needs. A lot of you will already have certain applications for certain partners. These we call legacy applications. If they can be included in our single sign-on principle using any standard like SAML or OpenIDP, we can also put them into this portal, giving your users again that one-stop shop. You can use delivered, SAP delivered Fiori applications that are available. You can enter also into the portal. And of course, this is last but not least again, custom applications that are specifically built for you. Now I've just really quickly given a very high-level overview of applications that are possible. Again, this is just an example. You can build in any application that you want. It's just like with the closet and the clothes. You can put in any clothes you want into the closet. But inside the content, it's not only the applications that you all know, giving real-time information or having automated processes. You also have, of course, the possibility to include intelligent technologies, always being a front runner. Some examples here would be a material wizard. With machine learning, we can identify materials or spare parts based on simply taking a picture with your smartphone. You could have a barcode or QR scanner. In case your spare parts or materials are labeled, customers could use them to order new of the same parts, simply by using their smartphone camera again to recognize the barcode or QR scanner. You could use chatbots, giving the conversational experience to your partners. Or you could use a hands-free maintenance report in case that your service is maintenance. You could give your customers the possibility to use your voice and artificial intelligence to actually create new maintenance reports. This actually sums up the entire package that we offer. Again, our basic package includes especially the backbone, so that is the delegated user management and the portal functionalities. And we will also look together with you at the content. What can we put in there? Which applications do you already have? Which do we have out of the box? And which can we build for you? Now, of course, we've seen why we would need it. We would see what is needed to achieve it. But the question is now, how do we accomplish this? Well, let's first look at our approach. Our approach is to take your requirements and what we have packaged, that solution. On those, we can do a fit gap analysis to actually see what you need, what we have, how much does it fit, and where are the gaps. Based on that, we will create a product backlog. That product backlog will be the start of a project and also the start of our estimations, of course. Once that we have the product backlog, we'll plan and run through time until we've actually executed it and you have your perfect B2B portal. It's of course not only about the approach. Important is also the technology. That's why we go for an integrated cloud-based solution. Inside the buy model architecture, on the left-hand side, you have your digital core, which is your ERP system. This can be SAP, AS400, ECC, S4. It's your ERP system. This is especially used for a B2E context, so business to employees. Your employees use this, and this is your industry best practices. It works exactly as it needs to be, and it isn't always the most user-friendly part. On the right-hand side, you have your innovation platform. This is where you do all the innovative stuff and you make sure that the experience you face is perfect. This is where all B2C applications currently run. Of course, as you can already feel, whereas B2B, right in the middle. Our portal needs to use everything that's inside your core, the industry standards, the best practices, but also delivered in a way that actually gives people that perfect experience. The technology we use here for is the SubCloud platform. SubCloud platform is also recognized by Gartner as one of the best digital platforms to give that experience. Now, what services do we use to give this within the SubCloud platform? First of all, there is the Cloud Identity Services. This is your IDP. This is where you keep your registration, your user store, and you also make sure that the single sign-on works with all the different applications. Next, we use a SubFiori Launchpad, where you have the application overview, where you can actually see all the different tiles that link to the different applications, and you make sure that it's a personalized experience that you offer your partner. We also use UI5 applications. This is where you give the information and you can give the actions. These are especially the custom ones and the delivered ones, because again, you can use also your already existing legacy applications in .NET or whatever language that you use. It's possible to use Cloud Platform integration. This is not always necessary. Cloud Platform integration is used to connect your portal with all your different types of systems. With Van Merke, the example, we've built it together with the AS400 from IBM as ERP backbone. This means that not only SAP can be your backbone, but any type of system. Besides those four main components, we also have some more possibilities that we can use. And it's again, partly in the innovative part. First of all is robotics process automation. This can help you to create actions in multiple systems when a customer has indicated what they want to do. You can use conversational AI to create a chatbot and the conversational experience given to your partners. You can use machine learning. As said in the example, where we take a picture from a QR code or spare part, and machine learning will translate this into the good that you want to order. We could also use the Internet of Things, which is the B2B Portal. Okay, so now I've explained a bit why you would need it, what's included in our package, and also how we would do this. So I think it's time for a small recap, because we all need one sometimes. What I started out with today is explaining the age of the consumer, and that the power balance has tipped towards buyers, and that this also influences the people who you work with. So the people within the B2B world are also influenced by this tip of power. And that resulted into that increased digital service expectation. One way to achieve these expectations is to create that B2B portal. The B2B portal that is easy to use, is personalized, fast, and empowers each of your business partners. We as Flexso, we can offer you a package that will construct the backbone and help you to select and create the perfect content. I really hope that everything was a bit clear, but let's see if there are any questions, because as always, we probably all have so many. So I'm quickly going to switch to see if there were any questions. Trying to switch here to the Q&A mode. So I see here the first question is, which apps are included in the package? Well, That's a very good question, but it's very difficult to answer because that's part of that fit gap analysis that we need to do. Each of your partners will need different types of apps. Even you will need to see which are the needs of your partners, because the apps that you need are very different for, let's say that you are a company with 5 major customers and they are major players. They will need different types of information than when you are a company with 100, 200, 300 medium to small sized companies. They have all different needs. And it's very important to give that personalized experience. That's why in our package, none of the apps are automatically included. It's only the backbone that's part of the package, and the apps, if we take the analogy of, again, the closet with the codes that we can put in there, putting in the codes is something that we do together, but is of course not be able to actually do this fully prepackaged. I also see, can we use the package on top of SAP ACC? Yes, of course. This is very powerful about this package. Using the cloud platform integration, we can link it to almost any ERP solution out there. As I said, one of our very large customers that we've done until now is also Van Marken. They currently still work with an AS400 IBM system. With Cloud Platform, we can still automatically have information transfer between those two systems. So yes, of course, SAP ECC, S4HANA, or any other ERP system is possible. Can we consent on different contact permissions be taken into account in the admin registration? Yes. So the admin has the possibility to set a certain group. To give you a bit more technical overview, inside our IDP, so the user store, we determine which rights are possible. Based on how we create those rights, we can allow either your delegated administrators, being the administrators of your partners, to give these rights to a certain user, or we can say, oh no, these rights can only be granted by you, the host of the portal. That's why we can split up those two. So yes, you can have different permissions for each of the users, for each of the customers. Absolutely. And that's also the power of the delegated user management. Also a very good question. Can we link Active Directory to the portal as IDP? Yes, we've done this also in the past. The selection case that I talked about for Euronics uses Active Directory as the IDP. We still need the cloud platforms services, and there we link it to each other. But it's in the cloud services that we can actually determine the rights and make sure that everything works in a one smooth way. So another question, independent on the business partner, who would use this? Will this work on every mobile device? This is again a very good question. The first thing, of course, is the backbone. We can assure you that the backbone works on any mobile device. We are sure, and I showed you also this, that the SAP solution for the portal is mobile friendly. The applications that we built and that SAP supplies, often Fiori applications, are also mobile friendly. Of course, if we use legacy applications, we will need to check, because it might be that legacy applications also work on a mobile device, but if they don't, we can even allow users to change this. We can allow users access based on the system that they have. I think we're through most of the questions. Oh no, I've got one here. It's a very difficult one. It's taken into account one application. Can you give an estimate on delivery time of the portal framework plus one application? Given that this is a personalized solution, this is difficult. However, my feeling tells me if I take the general, if we look at your typical customer with a typical setup as out of the box as possible, I think talking about 10 to 20 man days is absolutely feasible. Hopefully that actually answers that question. I don't see any other questions coming in. I'll give you a couple of seconds if you have a question. No? Okay. Then I think it's time to actually close this webinar. If, however, your question remained unanswered because you weren't in time to pose it, do not hesitate to contact us. Also, please don't forget to register for any of the upcoming events. Thank you very much for attending. I'll see you again next time.